Hold on tight, you daring bunch, 'cause shit's about to get real spooky up in here as I introduce you to a YouTube channel that's all about unleashing the baddest shit in the horror realm. This channel is your one-way ticket to shitting your pants. So buckle up and get ready for a wild ride through our wicked world of horror. Welcome. Alone in the dark. I never thought being alone in my own home could be so terrifying. It started innocently enough. A quiet evening, just me and the flickering glow of the television. Little did I know, this night would become a horrifying descent into the darkest corners of my own mind. As the clock struck midnight, an eerie silence fell over the house. The gentle hum of the air conditioning became the soundtrack to my solitude. I settled deeper into the couch, the weight of the isolation beginning to weigh on me. A sudden creak echoed from upstairs, shattering the stillness. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. It's just an old house settling, I reassured myself. But doubts crept in, accompanied by the creeping tendrils of fear. Unable to ignore the unsettling feeling gnawing at me, I decided to investigate. Slowly, I ascended the staircase, each step magnifying the deafening silence. The dim light of the hallway cast eerie shadows on the walls, distorting familiar objects into grotesque figures. The first room I checked was the master bedroom. I pushed open the door, my breath catching in my throat. The room was empty, the bed neatly made, undisturbed. I let out a sigh of relief, chiding myself for letting my imagination run wild. But as I turned to leave, a flicker of movement in the corner caught my eye. I spun around, my heart lurching in my chest. There, in the mirror, I saw a shadowy figure standing behind me. My reflection remained motionless, but the figure seemed to grow taller, its outline distorted and menacing. My mind raced, grappling with the inexplicable. I stumbled backward, tripping over my own feet. As I hit the floor, the figure vanished, leaving only an echo of its presence lingering in the room. Trembling, I convinced myself it was a trick of the light, my mind playing tricks on me. Determined to regain control of my nerves, I continued my search. I methodically checked each room, opening doors with a mixture of trepidation and curiosity. Every time, I found nothing but emptiness. A hollow reminder of my solitude. The house seemed to have a life of its own, its walls whispering secrets I couldn't comprehend. Shadows danced on the periphery of my vision, teasing and taunting. My unease grew with every passing moment, as if something unseen watched my every move. Then, from the depths of the house, a chilling sound emerged, a soft, childlike laughter. It echoed through the halls, reverberating in my bones. Panic gripped me, paralyzing my senses. I had to find the source of that haunting laughter. I followed the sound, my feet stumbling over the cold floor. It led me to the basement, a place I had avoided since moving in. The door creaked open, revealing a yawning abyss of darkness. I hesitated, my mind screaming at me to turn back, but an unyielding curiosity pushed me forward. As I descended into the depths, a putrid stench invaded my nostrils. The air grew thick, suffocating me with a malevolence that defied comprehension. The sound of my own heartbeat drowned out all rational thought. I reached the bottom, my eyes straining to adjust to the oppressive darkness. In the dim light, I saw a figure huddled in the corner, a child, their face obscured by matted hair. The laughter grew louder, more haunting, as if it emanated from the very walls. Fear consumed me, but a surge of compassion propelled me forward. "Are you all right?" I whispered, my voice trembling. The child's head slowly lifted, revealing eyes black as the void itself. A malicious grin spread across their face, shattering any semblance of innocence. With a sudden burst of unnatural speed, the child lunged toward me, emitting a blood-curdling scream. I stumbled backward, falling to the ground, my senses overwhelmed by a whirlwind of terror. I felt their icy touch on my skin, their twisted laughter echoing in my ears, and then darkness. I awoke, drenched in cold sweat, my heart pounding against my ribcage. It took me a moment to realize I was in my own bed, safe from the horrors of that nightmarish house. But as I lay there, staring into the abyss of my room, I couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent still lurked in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. To this day, I wonder if the house truly held an evil presence, or if it was all a figment of my imagination, a manifestation of my deepest fears. But one thing remains certain: I will never forget the terror that consumed me when I was alone in the dark. Well, that's a wrap. You courageous soul. We hope you enjoyed this wild journey, and until next time, keep those pants dry and those nightmares wet. Stay fearless.